CBS Sports celebrates Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Tonight, in the frozen heart of Orchard Park, with bone-chilling 18-degree temperatures and snow in the air, destiny demands a winner. The Baltimore Ravens meet the Buffalo Bills with a spot in the AFC Championship on the line. All season long, their journeys have been intertwined. Two MVP candidates leading two teams on a mission. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen have spent their careers chasing greatness on parallel paths. Tonight, those paths collide, but only one will march forward toward immortality.
Josh Allen, Wyoming Cowboys quarterback.
Lamar Jackson, quarterback, University of Louisville.
We've come a long, long way together through the hard times.
The Buffalo Bills select Josh Allen. The Baltimore Ravens select Lamar Jackson.
Love watching him play because every play is never dead with him.
Oh, he threw him away like a rag doll. Absolutely amazing.
Make anything on the field. His uniqueness of just making things happen on plays break down.
Deep to the end zone. Yes! Oh, my gosh!
There's only one Lamar Jackson.
Touchdown, Ravens!
He's a fiery personality.
Oh, the play of the year!
The two leading MVP candidates, they both are playing the best football of their career.
This is going to be one of the best games we've ever seen.
Who's last man standing? Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen were linked the moment they entered the league back in 2018. Both faced questions, both felt criticism, and both overcame adversity. This season, they've been the two best quarterbacks in football, with many arguing about who is better. Well, tonight the debate ends where it matters most, and that is on the field. And hello, folks, and welcome to a special playoff edition of the NFL Today, powered by Ram Trucks. I'm James Brown, posted up in the Sean McManus Studio 43 with my colleagues Bill Coward, Nate Burleson, and Matt Ryan. Divisional round weekend reaches its climax tonight with the final spot in the conference championship still up for grabs. So let's check out the bracket in the AFC. Yesterday, the divisional playoffs presented by Intuit TurboTax kicked off in Kansas City, and the Chiefs handled business, taking down the Texans to advance to their 7th straight conference final. They await the winner of tonight's heavyweight brawl between the Ravens and the Bills.
All right, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. These guys have been the headlines the entire season, and this is the matchup that everybody has wanted to see. The stats, they speak for themselves. These guys have been phenomenal. But tonight, none of those stats matters. All that matters is finding a way. Both these guys, they're in the prime of their careers. They're at that intersection where they have enough experience, but they also have all of their physical ability. Right now is their time. Tonight, it's going to be a massive chapter in both of these players' stories. What's the reward if you win? A chance to go slay the dragon in Kansas City next week against Patrick Mahomes.
And Matt, you are spot on. When you look back at the NFL's greatest quarterbacks, you can identify an iconic moment. You know, as we're witnessing in the Rams and Eagles game, weather will play a factor in this game. And speaking of that, when you think about a guy like Bart Starr, amazing career, but when we play footage of him, it's always that iconic Ice Bowl back in 1967. This could be that. It's going to be cold, and we have two of the best quarterbacks in the game. Yeah, sure, it's a divisional playoff game, but it feels like a Super Bowl. And this is a moment for Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen to stamp the legacy of their career.
And they are connected just like these two head coaches are connected. You're talking about Sean McDermott of Buffalo and John Harbaugh of Baltimore. They were on the same staff of Andy Reid in 2007. John was a special teams coach and the assistant defensive back coach. Sean McDermott was a defensive back coach. So you think about their job tonight and talking about these two quarterbacks. And I will say it to them, right Right now, it's about telling this football team to manage your emotions. The buildup is there. And my last message I would say to both these quarterbacks, stay in your zone. See it, feel it, trust it. Fight the temptation to try to outdo the quarterback. Trust your instincts, not your temptations.
Isn't that leadership
right.
extraordinary right there? No doubt about it. Hey, folks, and now let's take a look at the bracket in the NFC. The game between the Eagles, Rams coming down to the wire. Under 2 minutes to remain in that game. The winner will host the Commanders, who shocked the world last night. That's when they moved on, beating the Lions to their first NFC Championship game in 33 years. And for the latest on the coaching carousel and all the news from around the league, we check in with the man who has his ear to the streets. That is our NFL Today insider, Jonathan Jones.
JB, thank you. So the Raiders, they're going to make a big push in the coming days to land Ben Johnson. Mark Davis ceded this to Tom Brady. He said, hey, I've done things one way, and now I have the GOAT. You got Brady, Davis, and 3 other billionaire part owners who have been doing these searches. Now, Brady has his eyes on John Spytek to be his GM, and some wonder if he'll go with someone familiar with Johnson at GM to make sure he lands the coach. Johnson's going to decide tonight and into tomorrow when and where he's going to interview. And Aaron Glenn, he's been at the top of the list for the Jets and the Saints. Now, the Jets, they are open to bringing people familiar with Glenn in for GM. He'll interview later this week with the Saints, and I expect that both Johnson and Glenn are going to get jobs. It may even happen as soon as the end of the week. And lastly, this week, the Bills, they signed former Ravens quarterback Anthony Brown as their Lamar Jackson to give their defense a good look on scout team. Now, I'm not sure they were able to mimic Lamar, the athlete, but they did get a quarterback who could do Lamar's cadence, who could execute the motions the Ravens do. They got a peek inside Lamar's mind all week, JB.
Dropping gems as always, Jonathan. Thank you so very much. And that little boom you heard, that was Bishop Nate Burleson, but he is okay. He's healthy.
Good to know. Watch another game.
All right, folks. We are going to hear a lot about Derrick Henry today, of course. But let me tell you, James Cook, as we say, Nate, in the language, he's a dog, folks.
Yes, sir.
Don't believe me? Just ask the Broncos. 23 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown. That was last week. Underestimate him at your own risk because you just might get cooked.
Ooh, JB. The NFL Today on CBS is powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee Roquan Smith continues to make an impact in the community, and Buffalo's Jamarcus Ingram following suit, inspiring young students by reading from his new children's book. Historically, when King Derrick Henry shows up, the Bills can only watch the throne. Check this out. In 6 career games against Buffalo, Henry has 107 carries for 558 yards and 9 tutties, Nate. So let's take a look at the game plan presented by State Farm.
Well, it's only week 4, but this one has some big game vibes about it.
They'll give it to Henry, right side, big hole. Henry across the
Oh, he's gone.
Derrick Henry on the opening play goes 87 yards.
And this house is going wild right out of the gate. All right.
Caught by Henry, racing to the end zone.
Touchdown number 2 for the King. Oh, the King is having a night.
Hey, Matt, dominance doesn't even begin to describe Derrick Henry's play in their Week 4 matchup. These numbers, ridiculous. 24 carries, nearly 200 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And with Derrick and Lamar, there is no doubt that this offense is prolific. But you can describe their run game, I guess you could call it, what, versatile? You can call it multifaceted. But maybe the best description, powerful.
Yeah, the other thing that's ridiculous, 3,189 rushing yards. That's the second most in NFL history. 5.8 rushing yards per attempt. That's crazy. You said it. They do it a number of different ways. Zone read, quarterback design runs, wide zone. But it's the power. 23 jumbo, coach.
How much weight is 23 jumbo?
Yeah, that's over a ton. All right, that's over a ton. And right here, Patrick Ricard in at fullback coming downhill. Right, they're going to line up in these tight formations. Big players on the field. It's not only going to be inside run. Right, they can go to the outside outside with the toss crack right here. Look at all of that space that's there for Derrick Henry to run through. That's too much. If you get him going, he's really difficult to bring down. Finally, what do? They motion again with Ricard. What do? They ran to the right. They ran to the left outside. Now we go with the little counter scheme right here. Up the middle, two big guys blowing them out of the water right there for the touchdown. This is the matchup I'm looking forward to seeing tonight. Do the Ravens get big in that 23 jumbo and go against the Bills, who like to play nickel or dime, right? That's 5 DBs out on the field, 6 DBs. It's going to be interesting to watch.
You're putting those smaller, faster guys out there on defense. That Bills defense, they're fantastic, but let's be clear. Let me be Captain Obvious for a second. They had some guys that weren't in the lineup when they played in week 4. You got Bernard. You got point to make a difference. But here's the thing. Point to make a difference. But here's the thing. Be careful loading the box, because when Derrick Henry gets to that second level, just like you said, he's too big, too fast for every single DB in the league. And speaking of that, once that run game gets going, that Ravens offense, they're going to gas you. They're going to gas you. And then once they gas you, they will pass on you. That play action is a killer because the defense has their eyes in the backfield, and Lamar's going to put that ball out there. And once he pulls it back, he's going over the top to his playmakers. We're talking Mark Andrews working inside out from tight end to wide receiver. So they have to be disciplined versus this Ravens offense.
And it says you even talk about the fact that Lamar in himself is a running threat too.
No doubt.
Part of it.
No doubt.
On the other side of it, for the Ravens defense, they made a big change in week 11. Kyle Hamilton went to safety. Marlon Humphrey went to nickel. They put down Nate Wiggins on the outside, points per game first, total yards first. But down here, this last stat, they were the worst in the league giving up big plays. So what did they do? They go back and they got simple. And right here, this nickel package right here, stop and a run. There's Marlon Humphrey. He embraced that nickel package right there. Roquan Smith right there. They start off, and this is a defense that stays on their feet. Give you a bunch of different looks. Zach Gordon, I'll say, okay, let me get Roquan. Come up the middle. Look from the outside. Kyle Hamilton to the middle. Look from the outside. Kyle Hamilton right here, going back to the middle. Kind of like a rat player. He's got a great feel for route progressions. He's going to sit there and jump this crosser right here. You can see the interception he makes. And he give you the inside pressure. Oh, well, come here. Sticky Sam, I call this, because everyone's right.
Right. Yeah.
And it's all drop out of there. So again, they give you different looks, very diverse in what they're showing you. Here's Matabike right there finishing off the pressure.
Yeah.
They've gotten better since week 11. They've gotten comfortable since week 11, not giving up big plays. Big challenge today now going against Josh Allen.
And we know as far as Buffalo's offense is concerned, it certainly begins and ends, of course, with Josh Allen. But the team is so much better when everybody else steps up and gets it done.
Yeah, this is a different offense. Amari Cooper wasn't on the roster. Khalil Shakir was banged up last time they played each other. But Curtis Samuel, he's that positionless player. When you see him in shifts, in motions, a lot of pre-snap movement, look at him for those jet sweeps, quick passes, getting him going early. He's that guy that can be an X factor and change the game at any moment.
Yeah, and I'm looking at James Cook, right? It's going to be cold up there tonight. How do you keep the ball away from Lamar? How do you keep it away from Derrick Henry? You run James Cook. You get behind that offensive line, and you try and set up play-action pass for Josh later in the game.
And when Josh Allen gets out of the pocket and he starts to improvise, who's he look for? Ty Johnson, one of the best third down backs in the business. That guy will make more impromptu plays along with Lamar. This will be a fun game to watch.
Well, you guys are fired up for this one, as am I. Hey, folks, and no question about it, we are all heartbroken by the devastation and destruction on so many levels from the raging wildfires across the greater LA region. Families affected by these fires urgently need our support. Help the American Red Cross respond to and help people recover from these disasters. You can donate today to support relief efforts by going to redcross.org/NFL.
This is a hard winter.
My family is in danger.
Come out and show the world. From the first play to the last.
I'll destroy everything they fought for.
Cook fights. He's in for the touchdown. And there he goes, Lamar Jackson.
I think this is about as far as I feel like being pushed. Family needs me.
He wants to take this place from us.
He's taking it home for the touchdown.
Anything worth having is worth fighting for.
Stay tuned at halftime of tonight's AFC Divisional Playoff game for a sneak peek of 1923 Season 2, streaming February 23rd, exclusively on Paramount+.
Anticipation for today's game is heating up, and be sure to stick around at halftime for a sneak peek at Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren defending their legacy in 1923, a Yellowstone origin story, season 2. That'll be streaming Sunday, February 23rd, exclusively on Paramount+. Time now for Pregame HQ, delivered by Domino's.
We welcome you to Ford Field, the NFC Divisional Playoff. As the top seed in the NFC, the Detroit Lions host the Washington Commanders. No rookie quarterback has ever made the Super Bowl. He's trying to get Washington one step away. Terry McLaurin takes it 59 yards, and the Commanders are back on top.
This kid is special. He's different. This kid's money.
Washington is a stop away.
That's it! We're going to the NFC Championship game!
Came out here, fan showdown, man. Got us dub. Now we're going to NFC Championship game, man.
Well, the excellence of Jaden Daniels was on full display last night. 299 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns while completing nearly 71% of his passes. What a game from the rookie.
Never flinched, JB. I think you look at this kid, he's mature beyond his years. He continues to get better. No moment is too big for him. And this football team takes on his identity. I give Dan Quinn a lot of credit. He puts a lot of trust. They do a lot of things with him.
Yeah.
Give him a lot of leeway in this. And I'll tell you right now, they are playing as good as anybody. There's no team they don't think they can beat.
And it's easy to say it was inevitable before these injuries caught up to Detroit, but then that would be dismissive of what the Washington Commanders did. On defense, they showed up and they showed out. They made an efficient quarterback in Jared Goff look very reckless. That's because they were rushing 4, rushing 3, and still getting pressure on him. That defense, they were flying around, especially that secondary.
Yeah, and we talked about the NFC North seemingly every week during the season, and what a juggernaut that was. Turns out the NFC Championship, it's all NFC East, right? We've got the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles going at it. Ton of fun to watch. The energy with which they play, the effort with which the Commanders play with is impressive to watch.
And just a little credit to also Joe Witt, the defensive coordinator. That squad defensively got it done nicely.
And for Adam Peters as well. I mean, what he's did in bringing in some of his players like Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler, Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner.
Those veterans, right?
A lot of veterans with a young team.
Yeah. No question about that. All right, folks. Nate, just a while ago, of course, the game in Philly went final.
That's right. It was a motivated Rams team that took the road trip to Philly. And in the fourth quarter, Eagles with the lead. And it's Saquon Barkley taking it 78 yards to the crib. That was his second rushing touchdown of the day. Barkley went for 205 on the ground. He was a beast in this one. And then with seconds remaining, Matt Stafford trying to make something happen on 4th down, and he could not find Puka Nacua. It is your Eagles that win this one 28-22, and they will be facing their NFC East foe in the NFC Championship game.
And Nate, after the game, it was our own Evan Washburn catching up with Eagles DB Isaiah Rodgers.
Congratulations, a wild game in wild conditions. What was required to get this win?
We just had to lean on our brothers, man. You know, we worked all year for this. We worked all year for these type of moments. And it just come down to what it's all of us. We our biggest opponent, man. And we know that when we come out here and just do what we need to do, there's going to be better outcomes like this. We got to keep going.
This defense set the tone. What impact do you think your unit made in this game?
We never let our heads down, despite the weather, despite like the score or anything like that. We just kept going. We knew it wasn't over until it was over, so we just had to keep going.
What was it like to play in these conditions?
It's fun. You know, it's moments like this you dream as a kid, so just out here having fun, man, living the dream.
Heading to an NFC Championship game, your thoughts on a matchup with the Commanders?
We got to be ready. We know they're ready. We know this is what everybody's waiting on, so we got to go out there and do what we do and play ball.
Congrats. Enjoy it.
Appreciate you.
And we will be waiting for it as well. So taking a look at the bracket, with the win, the Eagles are moving on to the NFC title game. They will host the Washington Commanders. Meanwhile, in the AFC, the Chiefs are awaiting the winner of tonight's comment.
Yeah, I thought the Eagles were fantastic today, specifically on the defensive side of the ball. Jalen Carter is the most disruptive player on the Eagles roster. I mean, Bond played excellent, all of those things, but Jalen Carter making plays in the run game, sacks against Stafford, just constant pressures, impressive performance from the defense.
One of the best investments I've seen in NFL history was the Eagles going after Saquon Barkley and paying him. He is quickly just rising up the charts of becoming a Philly legend. If they can close this out and make this a Super Bowl run, he will be one of the best Philly sports heroes ever.
The third time they're going to meet, Washington and Philadelphia. And Washington won the last one that was in Washington. This will be a game, again, they know each other well. Can the young man, will he blink? Jaden Daniels
hasn't blinked yet, Coach.
He's answered every challenge that's been thrown at him. Can he do it one more time?
Well, Daniels, just say Daniel was in the Lion's Den. He came out unscathed. Right? No doubt about that. Yeah. Hey, folks, time now to make every moment more with FanDuel. Your best hunch could be the play of the day.
Well, we talked about James Cook. I mean, he's the guy that's kind of the engine on that team with Josh Allen. I'm taking James Cook to score a touchdown, an anytime touchdown.
Yeah, if you pay attention to this Ravens offense, yes, they have Lamar Jackson. He could throw the ball and use his legs. They have Derrick Henry in the backfield, but they really work through Mark Andrews. So I'm going with Mark Andrews and anytime TD.
Yeah, in that Week 4 matchup, the running backs for the Baltimore Ravens were a problem for the Buffalo Bills, covering them out of the backfield. My hunch, Justice Hill, anytime touchdown. This guy's going to make an impact on this ball game, whether it's through the run game or catching a pass out of the backfield.
All right, the weather is here and it is frigid, and there is Jordan Phillips rocking the winter coat under his jersey. Just like him, you better bundle up because it is the game of the year with that quarterback, Josh Allen, up against Lamar Jackson of the Ravens. It's the Ravens Bills coming up on CBS.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above. FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Make every moment more. And by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
All right, folks, time now to deliver our picks with Game Day Delivery presented by Amazon. Ravens or Bills? Who advances?
Yeah, I looked at the weather up there, and it looks cold. It looks like it's a little snowy, kind of like it is in Wyoming. So I think Josh Allen is going to feel very comfortable tonight at home. I know it's going to be a close game. I could take either one of these teams. I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills 24 and the Baltimore Ravens 23.
Ooh. The Bills are at home. Josh Allen is playing amazing. He might be our MVP. The Bills fans have been lighting me up for picking against their squad. There's no way that I could pick against them right now because it just seems like destiny for Buffalo. But JB, I feel like it's the Ravens game to win. So I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens to win this one in a close one. 31-30.
31-30. We got 1-point games for both of you guys, huh? That's going to be a tight ball game.
So who do you like?
I like, listen, who do I like?
Get to it.
Long story short, I like that man right there, Lamar Jackson. I like that man right there, Lamar Jackson, to get it done today. I think they just got too many weapons in the run game, too many personnel groupings that they can use in the run game, too many different ways to attack you. I think they get it done. This is a close ball game, I agree. 27-24, Ravens take care of business on the road.
You know, I look at this game, and to me, I think a big down. We always talk about third down. To me, it's first down.
Yeah.
I think first down is a down where it's a money down. I think you can be play action. You're throwing the ball in first down. Keeping it to 3rd and 5 or less will be very much a big key in this game. So I do like the concept of going out here, throwing early to run late.
Yeah, speaking of throwing, I feel like you have to be selective with two things. One, your shots down the field, and that's for both quarterbacks, but then also selective with your blitzes because these two quarterbacks can run.
Coach, JB, I just want to make sure that I heard Coach correctly. He said to throw. All season I've been sitting here hearing about run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. He's saying in the biggest game, go sling that thing. I love it. I think both these quarterbacks come out aggressive. Nothing wrong with making first downs on first and second down.
And I'll say this, these two quarterbacks are MVP-like quarterbacks. It's quite poetic. On this day, 1809, Edgar Allan Poe was born. And of course, he wrote the poem, The Raven, about grief and loss. Now, there will be a victor. And I just want to say, whoever loses this game, thank you for an amazing season.
Do what you do best. Don't get cute. Let's see who imposes their will, as Bill Cowher often says. All right, folks, we'll see you back at halftime with kickoff of our AFC Divisional Round matchup. Coming up just in a few moments, Nate.
We will get you out to your game now.